Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and I was curious with my favourite IR that I love using, how it would sound if we were to utilise it for live compared to in the studio, and is there much of a difference between them? So I've got some dry guitars behind me there, and I ran them all through my little reamp box here. And what I thought would be cool was I've got two different physical equipments I ran it through, one being the NUX Solid Studio there. I'm just going to be throwing heaps of pedals at you at the moment while I talk you through this, and one being the Omni IR loader. Hopefully that is focusing all right. For the two physical things, and then I had two different IR loaders in the computer to see how they would do. So I ran everything through the Solar Guitars chug pedal. I've just been using it lately, so it kind of seemed convenient just to leave it all plugged in. And I really like the distortion I got out of that, to see the difference between them. So if you utilise some live or in the studio, is there a huge difference? Are you going to notice a difference or not? I'm not sure. So let me reset up the camera so we can turn into the computer there, and let's check it all out. All right, now everything's set up, ready to go. Let me just quickly run you through this. So here are my little dry takes here that I had routed out. So there's three different sections. I didn't add any of the extra little guitars I had there. So here's the main riffs. And I thought these are three very different distinctive type of riffs to give us an idea of something that's a little bit more chuggy and muted and something that's a little bit more fast and open to really see, or hear, more so here, how the IRs interpret those in their different environments. So here are the four different environments that I have set up to go. So first we'll just listen to little bits here and there with the full band. And then we'll isolate them and see if we can actually tell any difference and have a chat about which one's better, which one's not. So firstly is the little Omni IR loader. All right, so now we'll listen to the Solid Studio by NUX. Excellent, and the next one is the Pulse, which I'll bring up while I play. And then the last one is the Ignite IR, which again, I'll bring up while we play it. So I'll just play each other section a little bit too. And while I'm listening to it, definitely see if you can actually hear much of a difference when it's actually all blended in with the band. So think about it from the perspective of, if you're going to use this IR for recording your demo or your album, and then take those same ones externally out for a live gig to use, would they be similar enough where you're like, yep, you're comfortable with that, or if they're vastly different? So let's bring it in about here-ish, and I'll run through all four again. We've got little Piper joining us. She can stay. All right. Now just the end part here, because it's a little bit chuggy, and then we'll go into listening to it isolated. So now before I play them isolated by themselves, definitely keen for your thoughts on what you interpreted with them. If you did think there was a big difference or a big change between some, or if they're that minute in the actual mix of it all, there's not really much of a difference, which is good. I see that as a positive thing if you can't tell a difference. That means you could take some of this Eternal equipment live and play it, and it'll sound like your recordings. So let's run through it again, but soloed this time. So I'll move on to the next section as well, just quickly. And now the last part. So that's all of them. That's what they sound like. So let's have a quick discussion about it now, because there are differences. So these two down here look very similar because we're capturing the same thing and only altering the cab effects post what you see here. Where with the IR loader and the Solid Studio, you can definitely see the waveform difference, how they've captured them. But in regards to the characteristics there, like even between the two external ones, there's a huge difference. Where I feel like the Solid Studio has kind of interpreted a little bit more brighter and has more presence to the sound. That's the best way on how I kind of hear it coming through these speakers here, compared to the Omni loader. Yeah, with the Omni loader is just a little bit. Now, this is only a comparison. If I was listening to the Omni loader just by itself, very different. But since we're doing it back to back, in comparison to the Solid Studio, it's just a little bit flatter, I feel, in sound, where, yeah, the Solid Studio has a little bit more presence, a little bit more brightness. And if we go to the Pulse IR loader, very, very little difference I can tell in characteristics between those two. Like the only thing I really need to change, let's bring it up and double check, is, yeah, I just had to pump the volume up a little bit just to match those two. But that's all I did. Other than that, I've just got the Coffee Audio with one of their mic settings that I like, with the SM57 and the E906. But let's listen to the pulse compared to the Ignite IR. Now with the Ignite, NAD IR, I think it's called. So I've got the same one going through. There's another one here, but as you can see, the balance is only engaging this side, not the other side there. Now there's nothing, there's a, not sure what that does. Let's try it. I've never mucked around with that before. So that's like a presence, and it does make a big difference. So let's move them both to 70. Oh, you can't type it in, you got to do it manually. Okay. Now I feel like this is a little bit similar to the Solid Studio. So let's compare the Ignite IR with the Solid Studio. Yeah, so the Omni one is definitely lacking a little bit in comparison to the other three. I still think it's an excellent little pedal, and when you do load up your IRs in there, you can EQ them and add a little bit more. So, like the fact that I add a little bit more presence to the Ignite one, you could arguably say it's kind of cheating because it's not giving the Omni one a full run compared to the other ones. But yeah, I found this very interesting. So there you have it. There are 4 ones there. All I'm going to do now is pretty much keep going backwards and forwards and whatnot. What I will do though quickly is the Ignite one was very close to the Solid Studio. Let's listen to them in a band situation and see. Yeah, very little difference between those two, which is amazing. So if you were to do, and once again, nothing against any of these ones here because we're doing them back to back, and like the Pulse one, to give that a fair shot too. Like, you know, it's only got low pass, high pass actually. There is no other thing that you can do with it. Oh well, I was going to give this one a little bit more credit, but yeah, this one doesn't have any other type of aspect other than low pass and high pass, which is fine. That's no problem. But if you were to, let's create the scenario, you're using your favorite IRs, these ones here, use the Ignite in this scenario with these IRs and this type of setup running through the Chug pedal. It's both best and closest to the Ignite IR for in the studio, and then the NUX Solid Studio for live. And you can get a pretty close resemblance to them both, which is really rad, very rad. But this could just be my ears and my excitement, just like testing this out right now for the, you know, really delving in deep properly for the first time in front of you. So I could be wrong, I've overlooked something. Definitely keen to hear your thoughts on how you thought about it all, and especially the little type of experiment full stop, what you thought about it. So thank you very much for joining me in this video. It was lots of fun doing and putting together. And yeah, it's always fun. I haven't done reamping in a while. Definitely not since moving place and setting up this studio. So it was nice, you know, getting stuck into that side of things when it comes to recording and audio engineering, which is lots of fun. But yes, definitely keen for your thoughts. So thank you very much for this. It's lots of fun doing this and having a chat about it, and really look forward to hearing what your thoughts are. And until next time, please stay safe. Really hard with this camera angle. Kind of need to do it like on the side so it fits in properly. Ish. That's the best you get. I'll put it back here. There we go.